And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Revelation 12 verse 9. Hello, celestial seekers. Today, we delve into the intriguing story of Satan's fall from grace and explore why God doesn't simply destroy him and his fallen angels. Satan, originally known as Lucifer, was once a magnificent angel, a bearer of light, standing in the presence of God. But pride led to his downfall. He sought to elevate himself above God, leading a rebellion in heaven. This resulted in a celestial war where Michael and his angels fought against Satan and his followers. Satan lost this battle and was expelled from heaven, along with the angels who sided with him. But why didn't God simply annihilate them then and there? Why allow evil to persist in the world? If you find this topic intriguing, be sure to check out our other videos and join our channel for more Celestial Chronicles. Let's continue unraveling this divine mystery. The nature of spiritual beings. Satan and his fallen angels were created by God, but their spiritual nature sets them apart from physical beings. Unlike humans, who experience physical death, spirits are immortal. When Satan was cast out of heaven, he wasn't stripped of his existence. Instead, he was banished to continue his existence outside of God's immediate presence. Think about it, if spirits cannot die, what would it mean for God to kill Satan? The concept of spiritual immortality challenges our understanding of life and death. In Christianity, spirits, including angels and demons, exist perpetually. Their fate isn't about physical death but about their ultimate spiritual destination. Understanding the nature of spiritual beings is essential to grasping why Satan and his fallen angels continue to exist. Unlike humans, who are both physical and spiritual, angels are purely spiritual beings. This means they do not have bodies that can die or decay. When God created angels, he endowed them with immortality, a characteristic that means they continue to exist forever. Now, let's delve a bit deeper. Angels, including Satan before his fall, were created with significant power and purpose. They were meant to serve God, carrying out his will and aiding in his divine plans. Satan, originally known as Lucifer, was one of the most powerful and beautiful of these beings. His pride and ambition led to his rebellion against God, and as a result, he and the angels who followed him were cast out of heaven. But why didn't God just destroy them? The answer lies in their spiritual nature. Destroying a spiritual being isn't as straightforward as killing a physical one. Spirits, by their very nature, are eternal. This eternal existence is a core aspect of their being, something that even God, who respects the integrity of his creation, does not simply undo. Furthermore, the Bible suggests that the existence of Satan and his demons serves a greater purpose in God's plan. These beings act as agents of testing and temptation, presenting humans with choices that test their faith and character. This concept ties back to the idea of free will, which we'll explore in more detail later. The notion of spiritual immortality also raises questions about the final judgment. The Bible speaks of a time when Satan and his followers will be judged and cast into the lake of fire, a place of eternal punishment. This judgment isn't about ending their existence but about sentencing them to a state of eternal separation from God, which is a fate worse than physical death. In essence, the continued existence of Satan and his fallen angels is intertwined with their spiritual nature. They cannot die as humans do, and their presence in the world serves as a constant reminder of the consequences of rebellion against God. Their ultimate fate, according to Christian theology, will be one of eternal punishment rather than annihilation. So, how does this understanding of spiritual beings influence our view of the battle between good and evil? How does it shape our perception of life after death and the eternal nature of our own souls? Share your thoughts and questions in the chat, and let's continue this exploration together. The role of free will. Free will is a central theme in Christian theology. It's the idea that God created beings with the ability to make their own choices. This freedom is essential for genuine love and moral decision-making. Lucifer, who later became Satan, chose to rebel against God, and that choice had profound consequences. God, respecting the gift of free will, allowed Lucifer and his followers to face the results of their rebellion. When we talk about free will, we are talking about the capacity to choose between different actions. This ability is what makes love and obedience meaningful. If beings were programmed to only do good, their actions wouldn't be genuine expressions of love or loyalty. Instead, they would be robotic and predetermined. By granting free will, God created a dynamic universe where choices matter. Lucifer's choice to rebel is a perfect example. He was a high-ranking angel, close to God, but his desire for power and pride led him to challenge God's authority. This wasn't a simple mistake but a deliberate act of rebellion. Lucifer convinced a group of angels to join him, resulting in a cosmic conflict. This rebellion wasn't a surprise to God, rather, it was a possibility inherent in the gift of free will. The existence of evil, embodied by Satan and his demons, serves a significant purpose in this framework. Their presence allows for the testing and strengthening of human faith. Just as a muscle grows stronger through resistance, faith grows through trials. When believers face temptation or adversity, they are given the opportunity to choose good over evil, to rely on God, and to grow in their spiritual journey. Without the presence of evil, the concept of free will would be meaningless. There would be no real choice, no genuine test of virtue. Imagine a world where there is no wrong path to take, every action would be automatically good. Such a world might seem idyllic, but it would lack depth and meaning. It's the struggle, the overcoming of obstacles, that defines character and builds strength. Moreover, the narrative of free will extends beyond individual choices to the grand story of redemption. Satan's role in tempting humanity highlights the importance of free will in the grand design of salvation. In Christian belief, Jesus' life, death, and resurrection are pivotal events that offer humanity a path to redemption. Satan's temptations are part of this story, emphasizing the choice each person must make to accept or reject this path. In the Garden of Eden, Satan tempted Adam and Eve, leading to the first sin. This act introduced sin into the world, making redemption necessary. Jesus' victory over temptation and sin demonstrates the power of free will used rightly. His life serves as an example for believers to follow, showing that even in the face of the greatest temptations, choosing God's will leads to ultimate victory. The role of free will also brings into focus the concept of God's justice. God honors the choices made by his creations, even when those choices lead to negative consequences. This respect for free will is seen in how God deals with Satan and his followers. Rather than annihilating them, God allows them to exist and face the consequences of their rebellion. This approach upholds the integrity of free will and ensures that justice is served in a way that respects the autonomy of his creations. So, why do you think free will is so crucial in the context of divine justice? Do you believe that the presence of evil is necessary for true goodness to be recognized and valued? Share your thoughts in the chat, and let's explore these profound questions together. Biblical insights on Satan's existence. The Bible provides many insights into Satan's nature and his ongoing existence. Understanding these insights helps us grasp why he continues to play a significant role in the cosmic battle between good and evil. Several key passages give us a detailed picture of who Satan is and why he remains a force in the world. In Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15, we read about Satan's fall from grace, "How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens, I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds, I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit." This passage highlights Satan's pride and ambition, which led to his downfall. He wanted to elevate himself above God, leading to his expulsion from heaven. Another crucial passage is found in Ezekiel 28 verses 12 to 17, which provides a vivid description of Satan's original beauty and perfection, as well as his eventual corruption. "You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God, every precious stone adorned you, carnelian, chrysolite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God, you walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. Through your widespread trade you were filled with violence, and you sinned. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I expelled you, guardian cherub, from among the fiery stones. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. So I threw you to the earth, I made a spectacle of you before kings." This passage elaborates on Satan's initial exalted status and the subsequent pride that led to his fall. His wisdom and beauty were corrupted by his desire for power. These texts paint a clear picture: Satan was not always evil. He was created as a beautiful and wise angel, but his pride and ambition led to his rebellion against God. This rebellion was not just a minor act of disobedience, it was an organized uprising that sought to overthrow God's rule. In the New Testament, Jesus also spoke about Satan. In Luke 10 verse 18, Jesus says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." This statement reaffirms Satan's expulsion from heaven and highlights the dramatic nature of his fall. Jesus' words remind us that Satan's rebellion had severe consequences, resulting in his banishment from God's presence. Additionally, the book of Revelation provides a future perspective on Satan's fate. Revelation 12 verses 7 to 9 describes the war in heaven. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. This passage not only recounts Satan's initial fall but also his ongoing influence on the world, emphasizing that his ultimate defeat is part of God's plan. These biblical accounts help us understand why Satan continues to exist and act in the world. His fall and ongoing presence serve as reminders of the consequences of pride and rebellion. They also illustrate the reality of spiritual warfare, where good and evil are in constant conflict. Understanding Satan's role and the reasons for his continued existence can lead to deeper reflections on our own lives. How does pride affect us? In what ways are we tempted to rebel against what we know is right? These are important questions that the story of Satan invites us to consider. So, what lessons can we draw from these biblical accounts? How do they shape our understanding of pride and its impact on our lives? Share your thoughts in the chat, and let's continue this important conversation. The purpose behind Satan's continued existence. Many people wonder why God allows Satan and his fallen angels to continue existing instead of simply destroying them. This question touches on profound aspects of divine purpose and human experience. To understand the purpose behind Satan's continued existence, we need to explore several key ideas rooted in Christian theology. Firstly, Satan's presence in the world serves to highlight the importance of free will. Free will is a central concept in Christian thought. It is the idea that God created humans with the ability to choose their actions freely. This freedom is essential for genuine love and moral decision-making. Without free will, love would be meaningless because it would not be chosen but forced. God respects the free will he has given to all his creatures, including angels and humans. Satan, originally an angel named Lucifer, exercised his free will when he chose to rebel against God. This act of rebellion had severe consequences, leading to his expulsion from heaven. Yet, God did not destroy Satan because to do so would undermine the principle of free will. By allowing Satan to continue to exist, God maintains the integrity of this gift, even though Satan uses it for evil purposes. Secondly, Satan's continued existence serves a purpose in testing and refining human faith. The presence of evil in the world presents humans with choices that test their faith and character. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, faith grows stronger through trials and challenges. James 1 verses 2 to 4 teaches, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." In this light, Satan's temptations and the presence of evil can be seen as opportunities for believers to grow in their faith. When faced with temptation, believers are challenged to choose good over evil, to rely on God, and to strengthen their spiritual resolve. Overcoming these challenges helps to build a mature and steadfast faith. Additionally, Satan's role in the grand narrative of redemption is significant. According to Christian belief, Jesus' life, death, and resurrection are central events that offer humanity a path to salvation. Satan's temptations and actions are part of this story, emphasizing the battle between good and evil and highlighting the importance of Jesus' victory over sin and death. For instance, in the Gospels, we see Satan tempting Jesus in the wilderness. These temptations were significant tests of Jesus' mission and character. Jesus' rejection of Satan's offers demonstrated his commitment to God's plan and his ability to overcome evil. This victory serves as an example for believers, showing that even in the face of the greatest temptations, relying on God leads to triumph over evil. Moreover, the existence of Satan and his demons underscores the reality of spiritual warfare. Ephesians 6 verse 12 states, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This verse reminds believers that their true battle is against spiritual forces of evil, and it calls them to be vigilant and prepared. Understanding that there is an ongoing spiritual battle helps believers to remain vigilant and to seek God's strength in their daily lives. It also highlights the importance of prayer, faith, and the armor of God in standing firm against evil. Finally, Satan's continued existence and eventual fate serve as a demonstration of God's ultimate justice. While Satan continues to act in the world, the Bible promises that he will be judged and punished for his rebellion. Revelation 20 verse 10 describes Satan's final defeat, and the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur where the beast and the false prophet were, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. This passage assures believers that God's justice will prevail. The existence of Satan is temporary, and his ultimate fate is one of eternal punishment. This assurance provides hope and encouragement to believers, reminding them that evil will not have the final word. In summary, the continued existence of Satan serves several purposes in God's plan. It respects the principle of free will, tests and refines human faith, underscores the reality of spiritual warfare, and demonstrates God's ultimate justice. These aspects help believers to understand the complex interplay between good and evil and to trust in God's sovereign plan. Do you think facing temptation and overcoming evil are necessary for spiritual growth? How has overcoming challenges strengthened your own faith? Share your thoughts in the chat, and let's continue this exploration together. The ultimate fate of Satan and the fallen angels. The Bible provides a detailed account of the ultimate fate of Satan and his fallen angels, shedding light on their final destiny and what it means for the cosmic struggle between good and evil. Understanding this ultimate fate helps to frame the ongoing battle in the context of God's ultimate plan for justice and redemption. In Revelation 20 verse 10, we read about Satan's final defeat, and the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur where the beast and the false prophet were, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. This passage reveals that Satan's end is not merely a cessation of existence but an eternal punishment. This eternal torment reflects the severity of his rebellion and the enduring nature of his sin. The imagery of the lake of fire and sulfur is powerful and evocative, representing a place of unending suffering and separation from God. This fate is reserved not only for Satan but also for the beast, the false prophet, and ultimately for all who align themselves with evil. It is a place of complete and utter desolation, far removed from the presence and grace of God. The final judgment of Satan and his followers also ties into the broader theme of divine justice. Throughout the Bible, there are numerous references to God's justice and the eventual righting of all wrongs. In the end, every act of rebellion, every instance of evil, will be accounted for and judged accordingly. This final judgment ensures that justice is served and that the consequences of sin are fully realized. Another aspect of Satan's ultimate fate is its role in the grand narrative of redemption. The story of humanity, from the fall in the Garden of Eden to the redemption through Jesus Christ, is deeply intertwined with the presence of Satan and his influence. Satan's temptations and actions have been a consistent obstacle for humanity, leading to sin and separation from God. However, Jesus' victory over sin and death on the cross marked the beginning of the end for Satan's reign. Colossians 2 verse 15 says, "And having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross." This verse highlights Jesus' triumph over evil powers, including Satan, through his sacrifice. Jesus' resurrection is a declaration of victory, a turning point in the cosmic battle, signaling that Satan's defeat is certain and his power is ultimately broken. Furthermore, the final defeat of Satan serves as a profound assurance for believers. It reassures them that evil will not prevail indefinitely. While Satan may have a temporary influence in the world, his power is limited, and his ultimate defeat is guaranteed. This assurance provides hope and strength to believers, encouraging them to remain steadfast in their faith despite the presence of evil. In addition, the fate of the fallen angels, who followed Satan in his rebellion, is intertwined with his own. Matthew 25 verse 41 states, "Then he will say to those on his left, 'Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels.'" This verse emphasizes that the lake of fire is also the final destination for the fallen angels, highlighting the comprehensive nature of divine judgment. Understanding the ultimate fate of Satan and the fallen angels also underscores the importance of human choice and the consequences of aligning with good or evil. The Bible repeatedly calls people to choose life, to choose God, and to reject the deceit of Satan. This choice has eternal implications, as aligning with God leads to eternal life, while aligning with Satan leads to eternal separation and punishment. Revelation 21 verse 4 offers a vision of the new heaven and new earth, where God will dwell with his people. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. This promise of a new creation, free from the presence of evil, stands in stark contrast to the fate of Satan and his followers. It highlights the ultimate victory of good over evil and the restoration of God's perfect creation. In conclusion, the ultimate fate of Satan and the fallen angels is a key aspect of Christian eschatology. It affirms God's justice, underscores the significance of free will, and provides hope for the ultimate triumph of good over evil. This understanding helps believers navigate the challenges of the present world with the assurance that evil's reign is temporary and that God's kingdom will prevail. What are your thoughts on the concept of divine justice? How does knowing the ultimate fate of evil influence your perspective on current struggles? Share your thoughts in the chat, and let's continue this important conversation.